There's a lot of dissatisfaction in the gaming space right now. People are complaining about, well, just about anything and everything they can think of. Gaming is not what it used to be. Modern gaming is bad. Games are boring now, the usual suspects. But are they wrong? It's no secret for anyone who has eyes to see that the quality of AAA games has been steadily declining in the West for about 10 to 15 years. It's not that back in the day we didn't have bad games, far from it. It's just that it seemed like we used to have more of a choice. First, I think we should acknowledge that games are made by people, and if there's one thing we can consistently count on people to make, are mistakes. So no, this isn't a new flavor of mass hysteria, at least not entirely. It's years of crushed hope and building frustration exploding into a massive outrage, leaving behind billions of dollars in damage and blood in the streets. But the thing to highlight here is that, much like everything else in life, there's a simple reason for the state of gaming: miscommunication. As much as we hate to admit it, we're partly to blame. We sent an unclear message and they understood the wrong lessons. The gaming industry, like any other, follows the money. Sure, $2 for a hat may not seem like much. After all, it's less than the price of a cup of coffee. But we're not buying one hat, are we? No, we're buying 10 million hats. Anyone looking from the outside in would immediately say, hey, that's a 5-minute investment with a 20 million return. And then the script practically writes itself. We told them we wanted the hat, and they assumed we bought it because it had innate value. While the reason for all of this is simple, the solution is not. There are too many problems baked into the bread. We've reached a point where multiple things must change simultaneously to make it even barely edible. There are two big topics here: the industry and the games. Tackling the second one first, we can split a game into 3 big slices: gameplay, story, and art direction, with each of these containing different kinds of ingredients of their own. For a game to be great, and do please note the language here, great is above good and just below amazing, so around the 8 or 9 out of 10. It needs to nail any of the 2 big slices: great gameplay and story, Metal Gear Solid; great story and art direction, Cyberpunk; great art direction and gameplay, Doom. All of these games were great, but the third slice came out not fully baked. Every so often though, we get a truly amazing game that manages to bake the perfect pie: Ghost of Tsushima, Baldur's Gate 3, Metro Exodus, Expedition 33, just to name a few. But greatness and success are not always synonymous. All of these games during their lifetime bring in less money than a mediocre live service game racks up in a year. You know, the kind where you can't see the game because of the constant pop-ups asking you to buy this, that, and the other. Somehow, a game like Baldur's Gate 3 blows everything out of the plate in terms of taste, but the processed candy bar in the corner brings in more money. Personally, I think we should create a new kind of microtransaction where you buy it and nothing happens. You just give money to the people you think deserve it, and that's it. So, if good games are not enough to solve the problem, what can we do? Well, we could stop buying half-baked pies for a start. Don't get me wrong, I have no lost love for these companies lashing out at their customers while digging their own graves, but we need them just as much as they need us. I don't mean any specific one, just game makers as a whole. So we should at least try to find some common ground. Easier said than done when screaming at each other from behind a fence is considered discourse these days, which is why I maintain that there isn't a simple solution to the problem. Gamers have been trying for years to point out issues, only to be ignored in the best case and insulted in the worst. So gamers are angry and frustrated. Alright, but what about the other side? Companies have wrapped themselves in layers of gaming journalist bubble wrap and jammed their cogs with bureaucracy. Decisions by committee and middle management types taking the reins have led to a money-first approach that has steadily suppressed any creativity, to the point where now, there's little difference between a gaming company and a fast food joint. It's plain to see for everyone but the ones putting this gas station managers in charge why this model doesn't work in the artistic field. There's no secret formula for creativity. There needs to be a base quality product for people to engage with, sure, but it seems that these days it's more important to make short-term profit at the expense of longevity, while conveniently forgetting how you got to the point of even being able to have short-term profit as an option in the first place. People thinking bigger directly leads to better will always run into the same old problem at some point. Just take a quick gander at the movie industry. They're in about the same spot right now, huh? Many of the companies that gave us beloved titles are defunct, and middle management parades their corpses around trying to squeeze the last drops of reputation out of them, like that one controller you have that's held together by scotch tape and prayer. But once the tape fails, what then? Just like us, they'll move on to ruining the next thing, but at least we'll pretend to take care of the new controller for a while. In other words, business as usual. For better or worse, the gaming landscape is changing, and we have front row seats. So grab a piece of pie and enjoy it. Thank you for giving me the time. I gotta say, this whole discussion has awakened a certain craving in me, so if it's not too much trouble, can I get some pie recommendations?